Plaintiffs Tony and Donna Burnett are suing Tony's sister, Nellie Helton, for an unpaid loan and services rendered. Tony says he always helped the defendant and her children, even after she blamed him for her son's death. But Nellie says Donna is only going through with this lawsuit because she is afraid of Tony. Nellie is countersuing for emotional distress because she claims Tony threatened to burn down her shoe store.
Tony Burnett and Donna Burnett are suing Nellie Helton and Kalina Burnett. Tony is suing his sister for unpaid loans and services rendered. And the defendant, Nellie, is countersuing her brother for mental anguish and emotional stress. How are you today?
Fine, thank you.
Good. Why are you suing your sister?
Judge, I'm very disappointed in my sister. I can't believe how she's betrayed me. I was sentenced to prison. And after I got out of prison, my sister begged me to take my nephew with me.
To prison?
No, no.
All right, first of all, back up. Tony, what'd you go to prison for?
I've been in prison several times.
Okay. Last time, how long?
6 years.
6 years. That's serious stuff, Tony.
Yes, that was drug
Most of the crimes?
Theft and drug trafficking.
You addicted?
No.
Were you?
No, never used drugs.
You're smart. You just made money off it, huh? It's the worst of the worst. It's bad stuff.
Plaintiffs Tony and Donna Burnett are suing Tony's sister, who they say betrayed them after they helped her open her own shoe store.
All right, so you come out of prison after 6 years for theft, and your sister offers her son to move with you?
No, my sister begged me to take her son with me. I tell her, well, I'm just getting out of prison myself. No, I need to try to get myself together. He said, please.
Your Honor, that's not true. My son is dead.
What?
My son was 18 in 1995. That's the year he died. He was killed in 1995. He was 18 years old.
Very sorry. What was your son's name?
Lavelle Burnett. Actually, my son was getting married the following month. He was getting married August 30th of 1995. The day that he had got shot, I did ask him to come and get my son because my son had told him, Mom, I'm going down to Uncle Tony's house for the weekend. He was not in prison. He was living with the girl. He had been living with this girl. And I told him after my son was shot, I said, if you had came and got my son like you told him that you was going to, he probably would not have gotten shot.
Okay. All right, talk to me.
That is basically what drove the wedge between my sister and I.
But can't you, Tony, can't you get it that a grieving mother who lost a son would say, had things gone differently, however indelicate she may have put it, that you got to worry about a wedge when she's lost a son? So why are we suing Tony?
She come to me and I asked my wife to loan her $1,000 on our credit card. And I told her, yes, I will loan you. I had my wife loan you this $1,000 on the credit card on one condition. Before you get near another dime, you ought to pay this $1,000 back. At the time, my wife and I were separated. A couple days later, come to find out it was $1,300 that was put on the credit card, which still was not a problem.
So you loaned her the $1,300?
Yes, Your Honor.
Tell me the circumstances and what, if anything, the agreement was with the defendant.
She had come to me and asked me to loan her $1,300 to buy shoes.
Shoes?
Shoes, because she wanted to sell shoes, because she did that in Kansas City before she moved to Atchison.
You mean as a business?
She wanted to buy shoes to sell.
Okay, so she says she needs $1,300?
Yes.
What do you say?
I told her I would loan it to her. I put the shoes on my credit card.
And when you say you're going to loan it to her, what does she say?
She said she'd pay me back.
True?
That's true, but excuse me, Your Honor, it wasn't 13, it was 15.
I never heard a defendant say, I owe her more than she says I owe her. That's a first.
True. It was 15.
$1,500.
It was $1,500.
Did you agree to pay her back?
Yes.
And what were the conditions of that payment?
That I would pay her back. The first loan she gave me was the boots.
How much were the boots?
$288.40.
Okay.
With delivery and everything, $288.40.
Okay. And what about the $1,300? When are you going to pay that back?
I've paid them over $6,000.
I also wrote her a check, convenience check on my credit card for $3,200 when she told me she wanted to open up a shoe store.
And the date of that?
4/10.
You're giving her a lot of money.
And the last loan was $425 for $800.
Okay.
She has made a payment. She made a payment on the credit cards of $3,200 thus far, which she gave me a check I deposited.
Okay.
The other $3,000 she's talking about is to buy my partnership out of the store. She paid me $3,000 for my partnership. I was her equal partner, supposedly, and she bought me out for $3,000. We just want what's left on the credit cards. That's all we want.
Okay. Show me how much you've paid her.
I paid her this. That's the check for $3,200.
Okay. On May 20th, there is a $3,200 check and $2,750.
Plus $250.
That is what I sold my partnership in the store
Okay.
to her for.
So when I asked you what the agreement was regarding your loaning her the money,
Right.
there was no discussion that there was a partnership created.
When she asked me to loan her the $3,200, she said, Donna, we will be partners. She told me that. We
That's the
will
first
be
32?
partners
All right, talk to me. How did this start?
to open the store.
Okay, I asked her to loan me the money so I can open up a store. $3,200. She asked me how much I needed. She came to my house. Her and I were talking. Her and Tony were separated at the time. And I told her, she says yes. Well, Tony gets mad at me. You borrowed money from my wife. You know, she your partner now. She your partner now. I said, how's she my partner? Well, you borrowed that money, give it back to her. I said, no, I don't have the money. I used it to order merchandise and everything. Donna told me, I'm just going to put my name on the license, and when you pay me my money back, I will take my name off of the papers. See, my brother don't know that.
Let's see the license. State of Kansas, Nellie Helton. All right.
She told me when she asked me for the $3,200, Donna, I want to open a shoe store. Can you loan me the $3,200 to get the store open, and we will be equal partners? She told me that, right, sitting right in
Did
her
you get it
apartment.
in writing?
No, I didn't get it in writing. If I was not her equal partner, Your Honor, why was my name on everything? Why was the lights in my name, the phone in my name?
That's true.
And why did we have a buyout agreement here, this dissolution of business?
Well, first of all, on the certificate, well, you know what? What's interesting, Nellie, the certificate is dated September 3rd of 2008. You borrowed the $3,200 in April.
Yes.
So you got the certificate after this alleged conversation that she is referencing. So that means that after the fact you went out and incorporated in your own name. That does not tell me that you were not or that you were partners before this. All I know is that $3,200 was loaned in April.
This is the dissolution. That's why that's the new one.
Okay,
That's why
show
that's
me.
the new one.
What needed to be dissolved?
Okay, this is how it happens. She is afraid of my brother. He bullies her and intimidates her. That's why her name was on there. She told me, as soon as you pay me back the money, I'll take my name off of it. I believed her.
What are you dissolving if there was no partnership?
Okay, what I'm saying is, she told me, that's why we had it written up like that, because of her. He was intimidating her. That's why it was written up like that. And
So you are telling me that she really didn't want to be your partner, but she said, I have to make believe I'm your partner or else he'll get mad at me. So you were using as your defense the fact that she's afraid of him. It doesn't work. It doesn't work. Okay, how much does she owe you?
She still owes $22,388, and then my husband was trying to get $900 for all the work he did inside the store, because he put up all the shelves and stuff.
You can't have it both ways. You can't say she's a partner and therefore we needed to dissolve it and I did this and I should be paid for it. If your wife's a partner, damn right you're going to fix the place up because you've got a benefit. You don't get the $900. What are you suing for?
when this all started, he was sending messages down. He told my daughter that if I did not pay him their money, they were coming down there to bust out the windows in my store. He told my daughter that he was coming to bust the windows out in my store, that he would burn my store down. And I acknowledge her name is on the business. And so I was going to give her equally that.
Your Honor?
Yes, Donna, what do you want to tell me?
Being here today saddens me because Nellie and I we're very, very close. she was more like a sister than my sister-in-law. That's why I did this, because I loved Nellie like my sister, and I wanted her to, she wasn't working, she was depressed, she was down on her luck, she was, you know, she needed somebody to help her get back up on her feet. That's why I did it.
I'm seeing a family in front of me that has been through a lot. Your son was killed at the age of 18. This guy's been in prison in and out most of his life. Okay, I think that she is afraid of him. I really do. But at the same time, you know, I think that the two of you as women hopefully might be able to come back together in some way, shape, or form. At the end of the day, what you've got is a loan that the plaintiffs made to the defendant. $2,388 is still due by the defendant to the plaintiffs. You're not getting your $900. And as far as this court is concerned, the claim for mental anguish and emotional stress are damages. You've got to have a cause of action that you hang on the damages to. There is no cause of action. They loaned you money. They loaned you money. They got something in return. They could have gotten more in return. At the end of the day, you've learned your lesson. If you're ever worried about a man, you better make sure that you take care of yourself, because I'm worried about you. Okay? Verdict for the plaintiff.